Okay guys, turmeric harvest time. I have it in this pot. This is about 25-liter pot. The blue pipe you're looking at is the fill pipe for my wicking bed. I did grow this turmeric in a pot, but in the garden as well. I don't know if the roots went through the bottom of the pot or not. I haven't checked, but I know this plant was magnificent. It grew right up to the top of the shed cloth roof. It was a spectacular specimen, that's for sure. I've been growing turmeric for a number of years now. I have quite a few videos on turmeric growing, planting, processing, and they're all on my website. Link is in the video description if you want to check them out. Turmeric is a pretty easy plant for me to grow. The growing season is opposite of most everything else I grow in the garden. I plant it in about May. It comes up in about May and finishes November, December, sometime like that. And November is normally when my gardening starts. This has been dead for a couple of months now. I keep it watered. I normally don't harvest all of my turmeric. I have a patch in the front of the house outside of the garden that's been there for about 6 or so years. I just harvest what I need out of there and leave the rest, and at the end, when it's time, it grows back. I do fertilize it most years with some top dressing of compost, and that's it. That's all I do with it. My turmeric is voluntary and free, you know, easy. This one is a different variety of turmeric that the wife brought home. The mother plant was much bigger around than the one we have. I don't know what the yield's going to be in here. I've gotten some really good turmeric yields over the years, but this is only one plant. It could be a hit or it could be a mess. All I can go by is the size of the top. The leaves were magnificent. Wow, beautiful. Probably the biggest I've seen yet. And it flowered. The flowers look nice. For people in cold climates, there is absolutely no reason not to grow turmeric inside, or grow it in a pot where you can bring it inside so it can finish. It's a long season, it needs heat. But this, I don't know why people don't grow this as a house plant. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful plant that you can eat once a year and save the mother, save a piece of the turmeric, plant it back, and next year you go again, you know. I don't know why people don't do that, or I don't know anyone who has. I've recommended quite a few people do it over the years. I don't think anyone has. But if I lived in a cold climate, that's what I would do. A big pot, one that you can move outside or bring inside, you know. Get it started in a small pot. When planting season is in full swing, transplant it into a bigger pot outside. If it's not finished, if it's still alive and looking good, bring it inside so it can finish off, you know. That last few weeks or a month make a lot of difference in your yield, especially if you're in a cooler climate where it's not growing crazy. Here it loves the heat, it loves water. I water the crap out of this one. It's the most water I give to any plant, I would say. In the rainy season, monsoon rains, they love it. Being flooded, they love it. I don't know why. You know, long-term flooding wouldn't be good for it, but short-term, no problem at all. The stuff in the front is right below my heaves. It gets pounded in the storms. They get shredded up. The plant itself gets shredded up in the wind, but the water doesn't do it any damage at all. And like I say, it's been there for like at least 6 years, I think. Long time. I'm gonna dump this pot out in a tub here, and we'll see what we got. As it sits right now, we have no idea if there's any roots in there at all, or rhizomes, actually, not roots. Let's get on with it. Enough yakking. Like I said, if you want to see those other turmeric videos I've done, I've got quite a few now. They're on the website, link in the video description. Here's what she looks like. Like I said before, I planted one mother, and it was a big one. Maybe that one, I don't know. Now there's 3 really. But you got all these little ones here sticking out as well. There's a lot going on in this pot. I don't know if you can see it in the video. There's a big lump right here. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. The pot is misshapen, deformed if you will. Okay. Oh, you should smell that. Wow, just cutting those dry leaves. Wow. A few roots went through the bottom, but not much. Oh, holy man. It's a little root bound actually. But you see this? This is not turmeric. It is, but it's not the rhizome we're looking for. And there's all kinds of them. This is an energy source. They store their energy in these things when they have excess so they can feed off of it later. And there's tons of them. Look at these roots, man. This was planted in just pure homemade compost, nothing else. This is going to be something. Look at that right up against there. And maybe, I haven't seen no real turmeric. Look at that, that's the mother, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's good turmeric. But it's broken, so no good to plant that. Boy, oh boy. That was a healthy plant. You see all that? Look at this. I've seen these quite a few times, but not that many. That's unreal. That is unreal. I'll get this cleaned up. It's quite big. It's not that heavy anymore though. It is quite big though. I'll get it cleaned up and we should take a look at it. It's pretty impressive, I think. Pretty impressive, man. There it is. 4.8 kilos. That's almost 11 pounds. A little bit of soil still in there, so you can knock a bit off for that. I didn't weigh that one. That's probably a pound right there. And I got a couple handfuls of the energy sources. I don't know if people eat those or not. They taste like turmeric to me. Tasted them before. They don't taste pleasant raw, that's for sure. But I've got tons of them. That is the sign of a very, very healthy plant, in my opinion. The turmeric itself, quite big around. There is 3 plants here. Get it apart. Oh, maybe only 2 plants. Okay, 2 plants then. You see this one? Quite interesting. Look at that, huh? Look at the size of these. Now, if I was planting these back, and I will save one, I guess, I plant back this. This is the mother. I take these side shoots off, all of this stuff off, and I plant that back, and I get a good plant out of it. But you don't need that. All you need is this. You see this little bud here? That will shoot. That will, the leaf will come out of there. That will make you a new plant. Doesn't need to be this big even. Although with this variety, that's about as small as it gets. These dangly things, they don't, in my experience, they don't have a growing tip. They're just an energy source, not for starting new plants. That's pretty amazing, huh? Look at the size of that. There's a lot here. The color. If you're going to save this to keep it as fresh turmeric, don't wash it. Wash it just don't do it any good. You want to sit it out somewhere to dry until the skin will harden. I plan to make turmeric powder out of this. Maybe all of it, I'm not sure. And I don't need it to cure, right? You need the skin to cure. It's like saving potatoes or something. The skin is, at this point is very soft. There's the color of it now. Break it. There's the color of it inside. If you've never worked with turmeric, it will stain everything. It will turn your skin yellow. It won't work now because my hand's wet. Trust me, you get this on your clothes, it's staying on there. You get it on your knife, it's hard to get off. You get it on a cutting board, you ain't getting it off anytime soon, that's for sure. Turmeric stains a lot. You see the skin very, very thin at this point, you know. For me, I don't get no frost. The best way to store this, like I say, I've done it for 6 years now, is in the ground. I've made like a slurry out of this and frozen it in ice cube trays. I do have a video on that. So I didn't use ice cube trays, I cut it up on that video. And it works good, great for stews and curries and stuff like that. The powder, I use turmeric powder pretty much every day in cooking. I always, as a rule now, put it on my eggs. I eat turmeric powder every time I eat eggs. And that means I eat turmeric powder most every day. And I make all my own. It works good. I've stored it in the fridge, homemade turmeric powder, for like 3 years. I'd say probably 3 years, the bottle I'm on now. And it stores fine. This is good now as the day I made it. All these are the roots, right? This is not a root, this is the rhizome. Not that it really matters, but you know, it's like ginger. It's a rhizome that you eat. These are the roots you don't eat. Well guys, that is it. I hope this inspires somebody to grow turmeric. Get some turmeric in your diet. I'm not preaching what you should eat, but if you like turmeric, can stomach turmeric, have a little turmeric, grow your own. If you live in a cold climate, grow it in a pot inside, put it beside the window. You won't get a harvest like this, but you'll get a harvest once a year. You preserve it however you want, or keep it in the pot, and you got it when you need it. Look at that. I'm not cleaning this up for a better picture, but you get the point, right? That looks pretty nice, don't it? And you should smell it. It smells wonderful. It really does. No, I'm not sending you any. Don't even ask. If you can't come pick it up, you can't have any. If you can come pick it up, maybe we can talk. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. More information, more videos on growing turmeric is on my website. Link in the video description. Go check it out. Might be something even more interesting. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it.